Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Morgan. Phoenix coming to you from Stanley, Virginia. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon. It's Father's Day. Hope you've had a great weekend. Alrighty, just very briefly, because we are now moving into week 6, you only have the 2 recurring assignments, the journal article critique, and almost all of you have that down pat. Likewise, the discussion board is coming out very well. Remember to be giving personal responses to classmates. Direct your comments to what that classmate has said. If you want to supply some reference in your replies, you may, but you are not required to do that. Okay? I think I just want to touch on once again on the 2 other major assignments that are coming up, and a reminder that in week 8 it is going to be quite pressurized in terms of getting that final project in on time, because the class ends on that Friday. It is not extended into the Sunday evening, as has been the case for the last couple of years. And that has to do with a new grading procedure, I guess. It came out of the blue for all of us, and for you too, but that's it. That's just what it is. Alrighty, a reminder for the final project. Once again, there are 8 headings there. You must have them all in your final project. You do not have to emphasize them all equally. Certainly the program description is the most important one, and make sure you are including strategic program features. Alrighty, not just a quality education. Alrighty, you will be, and that final project also, if you are going to choose the PowerPoint option, you can either do a standard text essay. The PowerPoint option, you don't put a lot of text on the screen. I will mark you down for that. Alrighty, I will, because there has to be a balance between the graphic representations on the screen, maybe a few very key words as to what you're talking about, but the details are in the speaker's notes, hidden out of sight. If you do a PowerPoint with no speaker's notes, then something is wrong. Okay, you've viewed bad PowerPoints or boring PowerPoints. Those are the ones where the presenter reads the text to you that you can see, and you probably have a copy of it in front of you as well, and you just want it all to be over with. There are typically questions as to how many slides there must be in a PowerPoint presentation for this project. It'll be a minimum of 9 slides, I would say, 1 for each of the headings, and a title slide would be a minimum. There probably you'll have some references, particularly for demographics. You may have 1 or 2 references there for some of the program details that you have, so you would need a citation slide as well. If you go over 15 slides, or 20, and I've had as many as 30 some, and that is too many. Okay, it's one thing to be complete and comprehensive, but you also need to be succinct and economical there. Alrighty, you'll also be uploading your final project in week 8 in live text and Blackboard. Okay, the rubric is in live text. That's your professional portfolio as well, but your grade in Blackboard is what's attached to your total grade points. And so that's it for week 6, and looking ahead to week 8. Also for week 7, there are 3 case studies. You will choose one of them only. I'm just going to repeat this one more time. You choose one of them only. It is the case of Dan, which is a discipline case. Okay, and be cautious. I'm going to give you a couple tips here now, a couple of hints. If somebody tells you that they're going to expel a student because they have tried everything, okay, we've done everything we could possibly do, okay, and we have done, and they name some general things. Be sure that if you're a parent or if you're a lawyer dealing with a case, that you of course would want to know exactly what they did. Exactly what they did, and check that case for the information. And all the information you're going to use is going to be in that scenario that is presented to you. There are a couple of questions at the end of it. What would you do? What would you do? Those kinds of things. And that's part of your summary. Once again, summary, SWOT in the graphic formatting that you did. Almost every one of you did that perfectly. The SWOT, everybody did, I believe. And no, not everybody. And then the case recommendations. Make it a list. Make it an abbreviated list of your recommendations. Here's what I would do. I would do this. I would do this. I would do this. I would do this. Okay? In the case of Dan, of course, if you accept the fact that he is being expelled, then there are not many recommendations left over for you, are there? So that gives you a hint as well. In the case of Emily, which is a special education case, a severe and profound disabled child, okay, with a cerebral palsy and all of the things that go along with that. And she has a full-time aide, and she is having some trouble with mouthing some sharp objects in her mouth and putting things in her mouth. and you sort of wonder what are they, what program are they providing for this child? And simply to say we want her in the least restrictive environment, that is not enough. You also have to cite the kinds of things that this child needs for special education, and you do not have to be a special education specialist for this, and you certainly are not to go out looking for any outside research for any of these case studies. And the third one is Robert. It's cultural sensitivity. And once again, if things are couched in generalities, look out and start thinking about what are the specifics that we should be dealing with in this case. Alrighty? In all three of these cases, I'm going to give you also a huge clue. There is no administrator named in any of these three cases, and that would be a mind-boggling impossibility in any school that I know of, where a case study is presented, but we don't have any idea of what any administrator has done or said, in what way they have led. Okay. For case study number 2, if you have questions as to how to increase your score from case study number 1, please, your best source of information are the comments that I have included in the case study number 1. Alrighty, there are so many features of the Serge-Romanich case that are given to you, and for case study number 2, there are fewer features, so you have to be even more creative as to what's missing from the scenario. But I think that if you have a principal like Mr. Sims in Serge-Romanich's case that welcomes the mother and assures the mother that the school is going to do everything in his powers, and the school actually had lots and lots of programs there, but we never heard another word about Mr. Sims. If you as a principal are assuring a parent, I would think that you would even have an opportunity to follow up with that parent and say, here's what we've done, here's what we've done, here's what we've done, or here's what we're going to do, and let's work together on this. Okay, there was certainly an absence of a really, really positive team in the Serge-Romanich case. There was probably an incompetent school psychologist that didn't take into account the nonverbal scores. Okay, and then a principal who was very, very friendly and reassuring and absent. So those are the kinds of things you always have to keep in mind. And always imagine the scenario as if you were the principal, or as if you were the superintendent. If you were the superintendent that wanted to know what's going on in this school, where they're expelling a middle schooler, in the case of Dan, and where they have Emily in certainly the least restrictive environment that I could even dream of imagining for a severe and profound child. And even though that's the gold standard, the least restrictive. But what is the least restrictive environment for a severe and profound disabled child with cerebral palsy? And then likewise with the case of bullying and cultural insensitivity, I would think that the principal will be on top of that case, absolutely wanting to know exactly what the school is going to do about this situation, and read them for yourselves and enjoy them. All right. I'm also going to go against my better judgment. I did give an option in week 5. Concerning week 8, I think it was week 5, and I just wanted to be sure that everybody has that option, because week 8 is going to be pressurized. You may submit a revision of an earlier journal article critique in week 8. Take one from any of the 7 weeks, week 1 through 7, where you didn't maybe receive the highest score that you could have, or maybe it's 50 points that you got on that if you've done very, very well all the way along. And you may resubmit one of those. Try to make some changes in it, okay, to improve your score. Look at my comments, but it will save you the bother of going and writing a whole new journal article critique. I think week 8 is inappropriately pressurized for the final project, and now we're shortening the time that you have by 2.5 days. Alrighty, so let's leave it at that. So everybody, but you must put, if you take the week 8 option of revising a journal article critique from an earlier week, you must put at the top of the page of what you're submitting, you put at the top, this is a revision of week 3 or week 4 or week 5 journal article critique. My grade was 47, or my grade was 38, whatever it might have been. My grade was 50. Just so that I know for sure that it's a revision. It will change. It will also give me an opportunity to deal with it most appropriately. All right. Thanks, folks. I hope things are going well. God bless you. The summer is wearing on. I guess we're almost ready to start a new term. The summer D term starts up in a couple weeks. So I hope things are going well for you. I hope the course is serving your purposes, and I wish you all the best. We'll see you next time, Lord willing. Bye-bye.